Northwest Elementary School is the largest elementary school in Manchester, New Hampshire. We have close to 700 students here. We have a large EL population as well as a large rate of poverty. We are a fantastic school. And we have just started with the New Hampshire Parent Engagement Program, which we are loving here at school, bringing more parents and guardians and caretakers into our school to be part of it and to see what their children are doing here on a daily basis.
Our principal at the time, Mrs. LaRochelle, knew that I really kind of enjoyed talking with the families outside and asked, I wonder if you want to be a part of the Family Voice Committee where we can help get other parents involved into the school.
And I'm not sure how Shelley knew about it, but she asked me to be on the family engagement team, being the guidance counselor, and I was very, very excited.
I think for me, she knew that I was starting the initiatives with Class Dojo and communication through a electronic medium versus the paper copy medium, and I think that's why she pulled me in as well.
And Shelley asked me to be on the team because I'm a school social worker and I work with the families all the time, and I was really excited to do it because I wanted to learn about some new ideas because I knew that our school needed to work on parent engagement, so it was really great.
I, on the other hand, thought, I want to go because our school is so awesome and we're so engaged with families that this is going to be just wonderful, until we did this interactive survey type, and we had a few checks in a closed school system, and I was shocked.
And I thought it was interesting because I was skeptical of the type of school that you thought. And Mary and I had a lot of conversations about that, and I'm like, no, I don't see that parent involvement that we really need and the focus on family. Yes, we do. We went back and forth, which was really nice that first day, I think.
Yes.
Because we were able to see that we both were right in a certain way, and we ended up also seeing the things that we could accomplish, which I thought was great.
And I think the surprising thing is that the areas we thought we did really well were the areas we needed a little more work in, and the areas that we thought we needed more work in were some of the areas we did better than we expected. I think we thought we were doing really well in engaging and having families come into our classrooms, whether it was volunteering individually or just coming in for certain projects, but I think we found as a school as a whole that we were lacking in that area. It kind of depended on grade levels, it depended on individual teachers, it even depended on the year. So I think that's one area that we thought we were doing much better in, that we learned, oh no, we could do a lot better.
I think one of the things that really excited me was the knowledge that we had been thinking we knew it all, and so we weren't treating the parents like they had a voice. We were like the experts telling our pupils, and it was like, I'm thinking, well, I don't do that. Yes, I do. I start a 504 and I'm telling them about their child. I now start the meeting with, you're the expert in your child. Why don't you share your thoughts about your child, and we'll work as a team together to come up with accommodations. It's just changed my whole way of interacting with parents. Well, they already know they're coming in for a 504, but a lot of these parents maybe don't have the most positive experience in a school as a child, and they're intimidated. So we use first name basis, and I'm Mary, we're going on first name basis just to give them permission, and then I build them up and say, you know what, you are the expert in your child. You know your child better than I know your child. So we need you to start off with telling us about, and they look a little surprised, but they warm up, and you can see them relieved to be able to tell us, but I keep encouraging them that you know your child so well, and you care about your child so much. Could you lead us into finding ways for this child to be successful at school?
As a classroom teacher, it changed the discussion around conference time as well. I think it did take some parents sort of off guard. They didn't know how to respond right away, and I think as that cultural change continues, they'll be better able to talk about their child, because I know in conferences, I don't know how yours ended up going, but the conversation was different. It wasn't same thing, this is your child. Well, tell me about your child. What are some dreams and goals you have for them this year? The conversation started more with them as the parent, not the teacher.
One of the big things that we pushed this year that we learned about was saying our first name. I jokingly with one of the parents now, I'm like, when are you going to call me Jen? And she's like, when you tell me to. And it was a big joke, but what happened was at that moment, our relationship really changed. We never had that parent connection piece with each other. And as we continue working through this and really becoming who we are, I'm Jen to you. I am with you to help your child.
Beginning of the year when we had picture day, I had asked 3 or 4 moms to come in and help coordinate that up in the library, which we had not had volunteers do before. Those moms befriended each other and started going to breakfast and then came to us as a team and said, we want to start a parent group and sort of lead a volunteer parent engagement group. And so now that has blossomed. They've been in the building doing numerous activities. As other parents want to volunteer, I get that parent in touch with the group. They had worked on a food drive in the fall for us. They had done candy cangrams at Christmas time. They had made up baskets of food that went home with families. So it was really a wonderful way to have parents connect. And I think the whole piece around that is the parents that were helping to get food baskets ready. They were doing it out of kindness and compassion. And
those parents also wanted to find other ways that they could help out in the school. So our reading specialist actually sat down with them and started working on how to work with children. And it's a small step. We know we want to make it blossom even larger. But now those parents are able to come in to our classrooms, working with students on their reading level, understanding how to ask them how to look at certain words, how to find those context clues. So that's also really impressive, is we've moved now beyond just them doing food drives into wanting to come in and help children.
One of the things that I find the most exciting about this with parents is that Dojo has become a phenomenal learning tool, so that each teacher can show or video what they're learning in school. And when the video goes out, you can see the teacher interacting with the student, and parents who may not have wanted to come in by intimidation or they're working get a glimpse in what is going on in this classroom. Oh, and the teacher's like, I introduced the zones of regulation, but I was careful to explain what was the zones, why we used it in our school, and questions they could ask their children at home, like what zone are you in skills, so that we're giving parents information to make them feel like they're learning and getting a glimpse of what's actually going on in the classroom. And that's what I find exciting.
They want to be a part of it, which I think is amazing. They are students are taking pictures at home with their animals reading, sending them to us. The parents are writing, oh, I can't believe this happened today, instead of, my student will not be in school today. It's more of, hey, guess what? And I'm like, this is great. And how exciting is that? And they're calling us by our first names, and we're having that relationship. But at the same time, we're putting up, I want to say, and I think we were talking about that, the Happy New Year. I just wanted to say Happy New Year to the families. And so I could do that over my vacation. And I put a picture of me and my family up and said, happy holidays. And I can't wait to see your kids back. And I got responses back. And it's becoming that we are a family and a part of it. So that melding together, and it's a simple, our parents work at a variety of times and at different hours of the day and whatnot, that sometimes it's hard to see us. I am one of those that if it comes up and it's before I go to bed, I'll be like, hey, I'll check in on that for you tomorrow, or that's great, I'm so excited he had fun at his acting class. Just that little piece. And they're able to get a hold of us and give us that information, and we're able to rejoice with them.
And we also have a lot of parents that don't speak English. And again, I'm a concrete learner, so the visuals, the pictures of the classroom, the interaction, even if you can't speak the language, you can see what's going on. And teachers use this all the time. They're sending all kinds of pictures. Our secretary sends notices, because a lot of people like me are overwhelmed by paper, or maybe they can't read very well, so it's going home more in the visual and more right into their living rooms.
Class Dojo translates into many different languages, so I've had parents often use it for different languages. I know Arabic has been used in my classroom, Spanish has been used in my classroom. So it also gives them another opportunity to interact with their student, with the classroom, even though they can't be there because of their different schedules or things like that.
You can't make change until you change, and it's not about us changing the parents, it's about us changing us and our view of parents and the way we interact. And I think when we interact with respect and caring and compassion and love, we're going to get it back. So I think it's us role modeling first that we don't know it all, but we want you to be a part of our school, and I think that's changed this year dramatically.
I think it's a cultural shift too within the school, and then that way, a lot of parents, said you're the expert because you've been trained in this. But I think working together is the only way to kind of become experts on their children together. By saying to them, yes, I have the skills to teach your child to read, but again, you're the expert on your child. I need to know these things, and we need to share this responsibility, and that's the way their child is successful. And I think they're starting to see that, and I think they're becoming more comfortable with it.
We didn't have a parent committee. We didn't have a PTG, PTA. We had none of that for many years. We had one volunteer. I happened to have her child twice, so I saw her often. We became good friends, but she was it. And she kept saying, there's no one. There's no one. And I think it wasn't until we changed our attitude and thought, no, wait a minute. We can accomplish, instead of we can do it all, we can do it all. We're helping everybody. We're helping all these families. We're helping them. We're helping the families. We'll take care of it. Came to, we're all in this together.
We thought we were an open school, but we learned in the training we were a fortress school. And that was hard to swallow, but we really were a fortress. And I remember the picture in the training, and I thought, there is no way we are the fortress school. And then we all said, wow, that's us. And so we need to change that. And we're really working on meeting families where they're at. We put a lot of expectations on families around, getting your child to school, getting your child to school on time. There's a lot of issues going on at home, so we're really working on being sensitive to that. Teachers are making calls home, not just the social worker regarding attendance or, I'm calling to check in, how are things going? We have homeless children, we have children that are in domestic violence situations, we have families that drug abuse is a huge issue. So we're trying to get the children to be in a mind frame and ready to learn here, and it's not always easy, and we're just trying to meet them where they're at. And sometimes a child needs to come out of the classroom and take a break, go see Mary or go see Mrs. Cloutier, and the teachers acknowledge that because there is a lot going on at home. And so we're really trying to look at the whole family and the whole picture.
And I think that's a really big piece as well of we're finding out things that are going on in the home that we're helping, and they're not scared anymore.
There was a lot of self-reflection, I think, in the training, especially that first day, and I think that's where we kind of got to that point of, oh, we are that fortress school, and we didn't think we were. And I think that was what was good about that first day of training, is that it did require you to do a lot of hard thinking and a lot of self-reflection, and you had to be really honest about it, and it was scary, but I think in the end it worked out, because even in this short amount of time, there's been just so many differences, even just in my own classroom, not to mention the entire school.
I think something as simple as all of us wearing our first names on name tags for open house. Really looking at every person that came in the door and saying, welcome to Northwest, and having a huge smile on your face and making eye contact with families and letting them know that we really mean it and that there is true caring there for the families.
I think it's a big piece is that they're also outside now to see them. You're not waiting inside at that door. And I think that's a big piece too, because that was that fortress, doors are shut, we are in here, and now we're open as well.
The other thing, though, you did on the conferences is they individually made sure a parent knew about Dojo and how easy it was, and they had it typed up. Very, very simple steps that even I did. So then instead of saying, oh, you should get up with Gojo, gee, this is the Dojo, showing them what it is and how to do it, and even right then and there, helping them hook up. So
We
I
would
think that
help them
was
right on their
huge.
phone.
Because we have how many people on Dojo? Families.
Well over 600 and something. I can't
Which is
remember the exact
amazing.
number.
Yeah, our participation is definitely in the upper 90%.